nicely down the hill. But yes, totally arriving, positioning himself well to perhaps become the latest winner in the medal. Margin is still not particularly comfortable on a quarter of a second or so in his gap.
Does he goes to the top of the time at 1:47.11. That's underneath the lap record on that lap out.
Yes, although I'd be surprised if we see a stop on this lap. Seconds perhaps apart, but they are next to each other in line, if you like. At least Morgan, so both of them losing a bit of time early on this lap. I don't know if the lap time anyway, but yeah, another very, very tight session, just 300ths of a second between Christian and Scott, and still I suspect some improvements we had from the straight back, we haven't particularly approaching always back on pole positions and podium to race with, so yeah, looking for another classic stock match race weekend here, always really close, and nice variety as well out on track. The world, it seems more and more stock match still have this wonderful variety. Yes, there's the very good great variety. Still, I noticed the Citroen AX as well at Terry Mountain, which is one of my first racing these days, so nice.
Hamilton's improved his time. He's gone third fastest at 1:47.4 now. Yes, it is nice. You've got the different blocks. Which is down the boat, that's it, side by side as well. But they are headed. Again, Morgan is in one of those older vehicles as well. Most of them have been taken by the Cadwell Park stop. This is winning 5 times its classic stock match, 3 times its stock match class B. A couple of times back in 2009. It's a pretty even start by everybody really. Danny Hands with a slight advantage as they go to second place lap behind, in third place Craig Pollard as they head through Coppins for the first.
Dropping down into the left-hander at Mansfield, briefly out of my view behind the tyre barrier, and as they come out the other side, it's Daniel Hands ahead, but only by a car length.
Back into my view, they come. It's very tight between those first two. Hands in the blue Dominator, Pollard in the yellow Webb, Pike in third, fourth. Looks to be Simon Cooper, Matt Harvard in fifth position. This is still Steve O. Sixth place, yes, he is the number 50 car for Steve O. That looks like Ben Cressy actually might have.
They are. It looks like it is still Peugeot Stewart Place in fifth as well. So they've actually maintained the grid order there, despite that side-by-side battle and bouncing down the grass further back is Derek Rosier, but he will rejoin at the tail of the field.
Okay, so he's Christian, Ben, as they head up the mountain. Stop. though by Stuart Place. Ben Bateman's made his way into sixth position. So Pete Morgan has dropped back there. But we'll try and think of exactly where Pete Morgan is. This is significant for the championship, of course, especially with Christine's main championship rival leading the race. So they come through to complete lap number 1. And it's Deere from Scott, Hammond, Phil Potts 4, Mason,
and behind Andy Philpott, who's been slowed by losing that position's place, and fifth down to about, I think, 10th or 11th place, all on top of each other, as they make their way out of Mansfield, which will come out for the second time.
Christine, you're right, it's looks like it's back to Pete Morgan, going to make a crowd, to get alongside Morris there, so that's the 7th and 8th. Of course, Pete Morgan here under every position, very vital in the battle for the championship.
Riley then, and running, as you said, in 8th place overall now, some 50 seconds off the lead. We know that the minimum pit stop time was a minute, so they would at the moment hold on to the race lead even once everybody else has pitted. And O'Reilly's lap time there at 54.7. There are cars behind going quite a bit quicker than that, so this is what we expected, isn't it, Ian? That gap now will start.
Meanwhile, 2 more cars have come in for their second stops, Andy. The number 1 car, Richard Lakey, and the number 4 car, Richard Phillips. They were both round about the top 10 before the stop started to happen, but they will drop, I would think, to the back. Louis Woodward is the last of the 23 cars circulating, and take a slightly longer pit stop as Louis Woodward did, with that success penalty based on the fact that he had had a win, I think. Donington. Those 2 cars I just mentioned, 1 and 44, back out into place, and they are indeed going to fall in not all that far behind Louis Woodward on track. So it's still number 3 that leads this race, because that's Jeremy Woodgate. He's completed 13 laps, he's 13 seconds clear of the 129 car of Waterhouse. In 3rd place is 40, which is Ben Wiltshire. 5th is the 1-2.
Close if they were to get there. We'll see what pace they've got in clean air, which they have now crucially got, having made that overtake.
Meanwhile, some drama down here in the number 44 car of Richard Phillips, which had made both of his stops into the pit lane with damage to the left 6.6 seconds. He's got a problem, or just made a mistake. 3rd is the number 5 car of Alan Caulfield. 4th is 34 Sam Carrington Yates. 5th is number 18 Chris Bayliss. 6th, 8th, 7th, 7th Scott Parkin. And then it's a bit of a gap back to, and he is accelerating away. He's got Liam Brezic's right behind him. Then it's Ben Seibold. Then it's the 5 car of Alan Caulfield. Then it's the 34 car. And Nathan gets back away. Liam Brezic's car is slightly right second on the road, but a lap down on the race leader.
Yeah, and still second on the road as he comes through Charlie, so very easily left down the road. But then, as well as he holding up the car behind of Ben Seibold, gooseneck on the grass is Peter Keane as he tries to get away. Still Bressitz is the car behind him, a lap down, and that is now concertinaing together Seibold, Caulfield and Carrington Yates as they head back towards you.
Liam Brezic's still second on the road as well, and he's got this gaggle behind him. Seibold and Carrington Yates and Woodward then. It is therefore the Caulfield car, as you were saying, that's lost time up there at Park Corner.
Seems to have somehow taken out the number 50 car and gets him out of the queue, but unfortunately might have taken him out of the race.
Yeah, it's one way to get rid of the back markers, isn't it? Yeah, I've not seen him come back through yet, Liam Brezitz. So we'll see how that leaves everything. And now Woodward has lost the position. Ben Seibold has got back through on the way into Hall Bends. But not good enough, I don't think, to take the place away from Craig Land. Land and Apsey are still alongside one another as they head first off. It is going to be Land that's ahead. Paul Clark might get the better of Rob Apsey.
His qualifying performance, that might be
the last they see of him. You would like to think that they might be able to try and go after him, but Craig Land certainly with a little bit of separation between himself and the pack heading back towards you.
That's right, so Paul Clark is in second place, and then in third place is Carl Boyce. Perhaps he's slipped back down to fourth position, but you have to provide a bit of daylight between Craig Land and the rest of the field. So it might be about the fight for second place here, as Craig Land seeking his 10th. Okay, so we've got Paul Clark heading back towards me in second place. When behind Craig Land, it is a fairly typical low-cost race this, and you've got a huge pack of cars all together. That's what we usually see, but usually it involves the leader as well. But Craig Land doesn't have quite as many of the quick regular drivers around him here this weekend. You did see in Autosport the other day that Craig Land is contemplating a move up to the Mazda 7s for next season. Which is another 7th most category, again low-cost chassis, but with the Mazda MX-5 engine and running gear, so that might be an option for him, a little bit more performance. Meanwhile, it is Paul Clark under pressure now from Rob Apsey. The two are side by side. Apsey has got his nose in front here, and he gets the car away front. Yes, he can. So Rob Apsey takes second place away from Paul Clark there. So Boyce fourth, David Hitchens fifth, and Van Horstman sixth. But Rob Apsey has made a good move there into top. It's 3-litre Mini Coopers. It's Mark Price, that's 81.4 more than Jenkins has 84. That's Nightingale has 60, and Charabani has 38. Mighty Minis is a 12-round championship. This is rounds 9 and 10 this weekend against Castle Cooper in a 490 round off their season. We are underway, and in the Supers it's a pretty good start by Steve Rideout from the second row of the grid. He's going to try and get alongside Patrick here, so go up towards Coppis for the first time, and he's gone through into the lead. So great start there from Steve Rideout. He gets through into the lead of the race. I think it's going to be Nev Kirkpatrick second and David Kirkpatrick third.
Place looks as though it is still Mark Ditchburn, I reckon, and then here come the Mighties with still Sam Slater leading, and Ben Butler in second position, Mark Price in third, as they all make their way up towards the mountain for the first time.
Yep, so Nev Kirkpatrick is back in front, from Rideout in second, David Kirkpatrick third, and Stuart Coombs in fourth. It looks like Martin Hathaway sorted out whatever issues he had in qualifying. He was many seconds a lap slower than the rest of the Super Mighty Minis in qualifying, but he's sticking with them in this race so far. Indeed, he's ahead of Mark Ditchburn there. In the Mighties, it's the 93 car that is ahead of Slam Slater. That could be his nickname, Slam. Sam Slater of Barn Corner, and up towards the timing line to complete lap number 1 in this 20-minute race. Nev Kirkpatrick, Steve Rideout and David Kirkpatrick. Let's have a look at the Mighties. Sam Slater not making the escape with the number 93 car. They've got the number 43 is going with him. Dan Smith is third, in fourth place, Mark Price for fourth. Chris Yates, who started on front row, he's got back to fifth position.
So through Charlie's we go then for the second time, and yeah, definitely no advantage really here for any of the top three. Nev Kirkpatrick leading, Steve Rideout second, David Kirkpatrick third. Then the gap back to Coombs with Hathaway and Ditchburn side by side for fifth. Are getting closer as well. Ben Butler's right onto the rear bumper of Sam Slater as they come down through the gooseneck. There's been no change in the lead in that class, unlike in the Super Mighty Minis, but I think one could be imminent here. Ben Butler at this point of the race, certainly as quick as Sam Slater, possibly a bit faster.
Okay, keep an eye on that then. Sam Slater heading the Mighties, but we've got Steve Rideout now leading the race overall in the Super Mighty Minis. Got ahead of Nev Kirkpatrick. Looking back to my left, and you can see also Sam Slater ahead of number 43, Ben Butler. Dan Smith still there in third place in the 45 car, now quite a long way behind the leaders. It looks like Mark Price, the Mighties Championship leader, is being put under pressure now by Chris Yates and Daz Nightingale, with the Supers heading into the pocket. Time now, the gap between first and second was just 0.4 of a second. Nev Kirkpatrick on exactly 1 second slower than Steve Rideout, but Steve Rideout getting the lead on that lap, I'm sure. Then we'll try and fight back before too much longer.
Well, he's now in the slipstream, heading onto the Park straight, and will aim to do to Rideout. When Rideout did to him a lap ago, he closes in, he pulls to the left, he draws level. Is he going to be able to clear Rideout? I'm not convinced he will. They're pretty much level, maybe a slight nose ahead for Nevin as they disappear from view, but he was on the outside line.
Closer to the top three again, so it's number 11 leading, Nev Kirkpatrick, by 3 tenths back is Stuart Coombs in third place, number 8, and then...
Actually more concerned now with keeping David Kirkpatrick behind him than he is going after the race leader.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think that's Kirkpatrick sort this one, unless he makes the final third. Well, Lappy's heading up the mountain now. Behind him, quite largely, second car, obviously, wide out. Then it's David Kirkpatrick who, despite that... And the race gets underway for the first half of a dozen cars. It's a good start by car number 5. It's going to be Tom Hill leading up into Compton the lead. Meanwhile, the Twin Spark Cup cars get away. Not a particularly good start there from Toby Broom. He loses out to John Billingsley, but it's going to be
race lead though. Scott Austin and Tom Hill absolutely together as they blast past me their way up towards the mountain for the first time.
Yep, so it is Scott Austin from Tom Hill as expected. Really, they have pulled clear of the rest of the modified V6 class cars. Meanwhile, Andrew Borky was quite a bit quicker than the rest of the Twin Spark Cup cars qualifying this morning. But John Billingsley, I think, in second place, is trying to go with him here. John Billingsley, the only man to beat Andrew Borky this season in the Twin Spark Cup class, and living up to that here is Toby Broom in third, and it looks like Richard Ford, number 9, is in fourth place. But at the end of lap 1, it is Scott Austin that leads. Second place, 2 seconds between them. Tom will, of course, a multiple Alpha champion. So the top 6 cars have gone through, and then it's had the
Yeah, we'll see how that develops though as drivers start to settle into their race pace. Not well spread out in the fight for third overall, and the second place car within the V6 continuing to drop further away from Graham Seeger as they continue their battle for fourth place overall. So little pockets of activity now starting to spring up throughout the field. A dominant run so far for Scott Austin, but plenty of battles to take.
Yeah, he's going to lap of 138.9 now, Scott Austin, which is not as good as the 137.78. Tom Hill has done a 141.15, which was into the 140s in qualifying. So neither of them lapping quite as quickly as they did in practice so far during the course of this race. And they're a long way clear of the rest of them. It's Graham Seeger, number 5, in third place. Roger Evans, number 7, in fourth, and Andy Page, number 14, completing the top 5. Andy Page is now really out to the advantage in the Twin Spark Cup over John Billington. So for the first couple of laps, it looked like Billington was going to stay with, but no longer. The average is now 3 seconds, and it's still Toby Broom in third in the number 33 car, and number 9, Richard Ford, within the Twin Spark Cup.
Wide for Andy Page coming out of Charlie's there in his pursuit of Roger Evans. 2 wheels dipped over the edge of the curve onto the grass. We've got the Twin Spark leaders. Yeah, Billingsley definitely not able to live with the speed of Andrew Bork at the moment, but third to fourth is still tantalisingly close as Richard Ford just tries his best here to latch onto the tail of Toby Broom. Probably was actually slower than Toby actually on the previous lap, despite it appearing. No change in the order though, Andy just not quite close enough to get within striking range. I think he's on a very similar pace to Roger, but maybe not in the right part of the circuit in which to make an overtake.
I think you're probably right there. Of course, he's in the modified class, and the 6th class for Roger Evans, number 7, and he is there in the 156 is Roger Evans, and it's the Giulietta for Andy Page. These have gone through now, 8 seconds separating. Tom Hill has improved. By Ben Short from pole position, decent start by Ben Hansey as well. Matt Hallam was rather slow away from the outside of the third row of the grid. Lost a couple of positions there, trying to get off the brakes possibly, with some jostling in the midfield, but they all turn through Coppice safely.
Gets collected, I'm afraid, by 1 or 2 other cars. A multi-car shunt as they come out of the gooseneck. MX-5s littering the side of the road. The dust clears and we're left with just 2 of them pointing in not quite the right direction. And in fact, the one that did the initial spinning is getting going, although crab-like, making its way down the hill into Mansfield Corner. That is a yellow car. Couldn't quite spot the number from this distance. The car that collected it, though, is only now starting to dig itself out of the grass.
Okay, well, we'll look at the screen at the...
We'll get back to Hansey in 4th and Jordan Johnson in 5th, but those top 3, Ian, still very close together.
Yep, they are, and they're heading into the mountain section now, so Oak Richardson very much with them. Hennessy, number 40 in third place. He's got a little trio cars behind him as well, headed by George Johnson, then Ian Tomlinson, and Tom Holland and Matt Hallam in 8th place. Right in the slipstream there is only about a car length behind the white car of the race scenery. Jinx to the right hand side of the slip. I think it's Tom Holland. A little bit early there as they headed into Coppersmith. Driving quite a wide MX-5. He will continue to lead as they come past you at the start of lap 3.
But again, they are bumper to bumper, and we know how strong this slipstream can be up the Park Straight, so this is Abbott's opportunity now to get alongside.